Suppose you had to give one input in terms of pressure handling. What would it be? One input in terms of handling pressure.
Is this during the exam or post, as in when you are preparing?
When you're preparing, run up to the exam or during the exam, either way. Doesn't matter.
Okay, so I have actually a small anecdote on my part, because I had my exam in the afternoon slot. The first section VARC was actually, pretty fine, because I was comfortable attending the questions that I had picked. And I was like, okay, this is more or less good for me. And I went into DILR. First 40 minutes, I had solved only 4 questions. So by the end of those 40 minutes, I was like, okay, my DILR for this year is done probably, and I'm probably going to sit for another year, prepare for CAT. But something inside me kicked in and said, dude, you still have 20 minutes. Let's make good use of it. So I took a 10-15 seconds to, go through all the sets that were remaining, because I had attempted only 2 out of the 8. And I was like, out of those 2 sets, I've selected only 4 questions which I could solve properly. I was like, okay, let me pick the easiest ones and go for them. And it happened that I was able to properly identify them in the last 20 minutes, and I ended up solving 12 questions in the last 20 minutes. So overall, my attempt went from 4 to 16 in a matter of 20 minutes. So taking a break and, telling yourself that, dude, it's okay, I've screwed up the first 40 minutes. But it's,
a reboot in between the exam can do wonders. Fine. So,
correct.
Anything else, Arvind? Anything specific for stress handling during the exam or before on the run up?
No, nothing specific according to me. It's very generic. Just that believe in yourselves, because I at least believe that how much ever effort you put, you will get a mark corresponding to that. So that's going to happen. So just and one more thing to just add on is just everybody had touched upon, just take a step back and then think about what your plan is going to be. If it's going to be really, really tough, it's going to be tough for everybody also. Correct. So do not worry about all the things that have been predicted by all the different coaching centers, and everybody else is going for a toss. So do not bring in any external factors inside the exam, because even though first session and the second session, the difficulty of the paper might be very similar, it need not always be. So you shouldn't be bringing preconceived notions about what is a pass score and everything to the exam actually. So once that is gone, you are going to the exam and you are in that particular moment with a clean slate and you are focusing just on the question at hand. So that's going to be taking off a lot of pressure from you. So that's going to give you extra portion of your mind that you can adequately use on the particular question.
I'll just chip in here. So to distribute, as in, how do I say it? So to make sure you have enough ways to handle the pressure throughout the session, identify questions that are easy for you to attempt first. So when you find a question, don't try to solve every single question, because some of these things might be really difficult for you. So having a priority, as in this is easy, this is medium, this is hard, I want to solve this now, maybe I'll push this for later, is a good way of handling pressure throughout the exam.
And adding on to that, whatever Bharat said, I used to have a stop loss for me, because I learned it from Rajesh himself, because he used to tell me about this investment thing where people, have a stop loss for the loss they make on a share price. So I said, okay, let me apply this in CAT exam as well. So what I used to do was, I used to have a cutoff time for each question. Since Quant was my worst section, I used to do a 30-second stop loss. As in, I would look at the question, I would feel, okay, this is from speed, time, and distance, and I know speed, time, and distance. Let me solve it. If I'm able to come up with a solution within the first 30 seconds, and if I'm able to completely, come up with an approach in the first 30 seconds, I'll go ahead. Otherwise, this question is chucked, and I'll just move on to the next question. So in that way, I saved time, and I saved the, not ended up getting pressurized because I lost a lot of time and I did not get the answer as well. So it's one of the strategies that I followed in CAT, in the exam center.
Wonderful. Yeah. Having a stop loss. You've spent some time, but then draw a line and say, okay, no more time.